Before we look any more at this beautiful 1998 Sea Ray 370 Sundancer, I'm going to show you how Anchor Girl and I got to this point and look at the many boats that we've had over the past 30 years. Yeah, so this is part one. 30 years ago, look at that, almost 30 years ago, and that beautiful boat right there is a 1965 Shepherd 26-foot cruiser. Yeah, that thing was, let's call it a project boat, and that project lasted 2 years. And look at that, here's some shots of the inside, and we are back to way back when. And look at that spiffy looking gentleman there with a suit and a tie out on the boat. How uncomfortable is that? And even better, I'm just gonna scroll through some of the other pictures from that catalog, and look at that. Everybody is wearing a captain's hat. Yeah, this guy here too. I think that's the same guy that was in the first shot of 26 footer. Let's jump back to July 8th, 1995, and this was the first time we set eyes on this beauty. Little background story, the boat was actually in a repo yard. It was suggested that we could get that boat really, really cheap, and given the fact that I am a general contractor and was good with woodworking, this would be an ideal boat for us to get into boating for the first time. So when we got her home, first job was to start cleaning it up. Actually, the boat never got much more than cleaned up. Look at that guy. There I am, 30 years younger. Wow. As you can see, I had all the interior pieces taken out, and we were just scraping and cleaning and painting and, you know, trying to make sense of this boat actually. It was rotten. Oh man, it wasn't like severely rotten, but that upper deck was plywood, and it wasn't protected by anything. It was just a vinyl matting basically stapled onto it, and it was not impervious to water, as you can see. There's a shot inside the head where water had come down the bulkhead. I don't know if that was coming from inside the cockpit or what, but yeah, there was quite a bit of rotten wood. So let's jump forward 1 year of us having this boat. I just got to tell you that this boat never saw water in the 2 years that we had it. It was just a project boat. It was a fun thing to do on the weekends, and it was a break from, you know, the everyday of work and that grind. So I had a lot of fun with it. It was a great place just to get away to work on the boat. The kids and Anchor Girl would come and join me as much as possible and help out and do whatever anybody could do, and including cleaning the boat. I mean, it looked good by the time we were not done with it, but by the time that we were ready to get rid of it, the interior looked decent, the outside looked good, but I never even started the engine. Oh, here comes Anchor Girl with my Tim Hortons. Time for a coffee break. Yeah, so what we did with that boat, my dad was good enough to give me a lot of help on the boat, but we basically, we just tore into it, stripped all the old paint off. I patched in any little patches that I could on the hull sides as well as the transom, and then we painted the thing. Made it look decent, but unfortunately I didn't know what I was doing, so I cannot lie, the paint that went on that boat was just latex house paint. And don't say, oh Paul, you can't use that on a boat. Well, I know that now, but again, that's 30 years ago, and I had no idea, and we just wanted to make it look pretty with a hope to get it in the water, which ultimately we never did. I never had the engine running. The problem is the property where I was getting free storage for those 2 years came up for sale, so the boat had to move, and we weren't prepared to go to any expense, so we sold the boat. Getaway for basically what we had into it, so it was a wash, but it was a fun learning experience for us. So a year after we got rid of the Shepherd, we bought this little Gru Runabout. Just an 18-footer, had a V6 inboard outboard, had a ton of fun with it. We had that boat for, I can't even say one season. If I recall, from the time that we bought it, got it in the water, we used it for, I believe it was 3 months. We had a blast. Me and the kids would go out constantly with that boat, go swimming, hacking around, throwing the anchor, and had a ton of fun. And of course, Anchor Girl was with us as much as possible, but a lot of times the weekend, Saturday, she was working, so it was just me and the kids. So we came to the conclusion after that 3 months, the first summer with it, that we all agreed that we enjoyed boating. We agreed that this would be a fun family activity. So we decided to sell the boat and then look for something a little bit bigger. Well, this is the story of my life, as you will see going through this whole series. Now, when researching this boat, I was looking online to see if I could find any brochures for this Gru boat. Couldn't find any, but I did come across a story about the tragic ending for the Gru company and the last owner. And like I said, it's pretty tragic. And I'm going to leave a link in the description to a video, and you know, I suggest you watch it because it's like, the ending is like, wow, unbelievable. After we sold that boat, what did we do? We looked for a little cruiser, something with a little bit more amenities in it. And of course, what did we land on? But a Sea Ray. That is the very first Sea Ray that we owned. That was a 1976 240 SDA. On my next video, I'm gonna dive in deeper and tell you that whole story. So I hope you will follow along with that. Now, I hope you'll look down in the description because I'm going to create a playlist of this whole series of videos, our old boats and how we got into boating. And the first video in the series is 50 years of boating and how I got into boating with my parents, going way back to here, 1970, if you can believe that, and all the fun and the different boats that we had and the experiences, and what drove Anchor Girl and I, well, me primarily, and both of us get into boats of our own. So I hope you will watch that series and let me know what you think. And let's start with, once you've done this video, like I said, go look in the link in the description, and let's look at any of the other videos that I have already up in the series. And because once I'm done this one, there will be more to come. Spoiler alert, there's a lot of Sea Rays coming. Yeah, so I hope you look at it, enjoy it, and get some insights into our boating history and why we are where we are with our boats today, and how come we are so in love with boating and the boating lifestyle, and all that we do to maintain that and move forward with it. And as always, I will look forward to your comments, and I hope you'll look forward to seeing more of this. That's it for now. We'll see you on the next one. Cheers.